Okay. Peace and unconditional, revolutionary, matriarchal, maroon love, my people. My name is irrelevant. If you don't know me, my name is Spirit Child, but that's pretty irrelevant. But if you need relevant references, we can provide those for you. What's more important is this message is for all of us, but more specifically, my black and brown people throughout the world, and even more specifically, my black and brown people out in Belgium. We're doing work there for many years, you know, and just today, I've been hearing some things with our various comrades that there's been some divisive tactics that have been adopted by some of our quote-unquote activists in the movement. Now, I want to say this first. I think it's really important, and I think it's necessary, and I commend especially those who want to be focused on a particular cause or a person to utilize this platform to elevate our struggle for liberation. It is very dangerous to perpetuate this divisive tactic, okay? The functions that's happening throughout the world, George Floyd is being highlighted, and I'm pretty sure everybody throughout the world understands that it's not in isolation. This being said, if we are dealing with a major pandemic, which is not COVID I'm talking about, police assassinations, brutality, harassment, the criminalization of our people, especially young people throughout the world that's been existing since they brought us from Africa, okay? Involuntarily, since that moment, we have not had a second to breathe. And I'm talking to you right now. I'm over by the area where Eric Gardner, for you young people out there, do your homework, okay? Who was killed by police out here in Staten Island. Listen, it's really hard to say this. It breaks my heart, you know, it breaks my heart. When people join forces with you in solidarity, it is not revolutionary to tell people that we don't want their solidarity, okay? I have been trained, we have been trained in the New Black Arts Movement. Our people and community have been trained to align, to ride, to organize with oppressed people throughout the world. The world. Fred Hampton, Rainbow Coalition, the original Rainbow Coalition, which existed of many formations. There was Bronx organizations called the White Lightning, who organized with the Young Lords, who were brown. My mentor, Ashanti Alston, one of my mentors, encouraged, workshopped, nurtured our organization at the time, Movement in Motion, to focus on the indigenous peoples out in Mexico. So we spent some time with the zapatistas, and all of us are in this together. There is not one name that is more important than the other, okay? When people are coalescing, when they're trying to build coalition, there is a moment when you walk the 80 miles together, okay? Any debates, any arguments you have behind closed doors, you mash it out. When you're in public, you work together. You remember who is the enemy and you focus. Remember COINTELPRO. Remember infiltrators, informants that come into our spaces, agitators that do things that is not our primary goal within this movement, which is to get free. Now, respect to everybody who's utilizing all their tactics and techniques. Regardless of what you use your brain, okay? The people that want to stand with you are not your enemy, okay? Adil, you know, Ache, rest in peace, rest in power, rise in power, as well as Lamin, right? Mehdi, Malda, all these, whether they're Moroccan, whether they're African, African, right? Black African. We're all African, dude. Like, we gotta stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a similar situation here, and this is for my people out here, okay? Allegedly in Chicago, people are talking about this divisive thing. It's really interesting that this is not just happening out there, it's happening throughout the world. So my brothers and sisters, be patient with the ignorance and stupidity, because it might be disguised in infiltration and people trying to co-opt your movements. That is not us. That is not who we ever been, okay? We as a formation has been trained, nurtured by young lords, by Black Panthers. I am an afro-indígenia maroon. I am a product of this particular conversation that we're talking about, this unity, this unification. I am Jamaican as well as Puerto Rican. My father's from the South, so I have African American roots as well. Like, we are a diasporic people. Any fight that we come together against racial inequality, police assassinations especially, we don't have the numbers to pick and choose who we're going to allow our focus on. Now, George Floyd, we use this, right? We all use this. And we also talk about the people in our communities that it's happening to every day. I mean, in the States, you know, since 2015 alone, every year, we've been averaging about 1,000 people that have been slaughtered, assassinated, killed by police, by law enforcement. This year, we're 400 plus already, and we're not even halfway through the year. Unfortunately, I'm sure there'll be more. The point is, we need to organize. You young kids, you adults, everybody need to study the fuck up, man. Because we don't have time to do this counterproductive, counter-revolutionary work. We need to figure out what you're building with, how to build a line, how to destroy and dismantle and decolonize, and not figure out how to educate your dumb asses on what solidarity is, what it needs to look like. Don't follow hashtags and just go out there as a reactionary. Study what you're doing, okay? If you don't know, we are here to work with you. This is work that we've been doing. It has been passed down. The torch has been passed down for generations. We've been doing this work. And there's nothing in the work that I've been doing and that we've been doing here that I've received from our elders and our ancestors that says, shut people down who are walking with you. Tell them to move to the side because we're not focusing on that. We're just focusing on us right now. I have never heard such bullshit. If you're doing that, I want to talk to you, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, stop it. Just stop it. We don't have time for it, all right? That is not revolutionary. It's counter-revolutionary, counterproductive. This is our struggle. Our struggle. All of us in this struggle. If you are riding, especially now, I'll spend a little bit of time talking about white people and white solidarity. I've just been focusing on black and brown. Oh, I didn't really mention in Chicago and in New York and other places, I'm sure this is just spreading like wildfire before I jump the gun. I don't usually do these kind of emotional responses but whatever, we're doing it. Alleged Latinos are now being seen as people who are coalescing with the law enforcement and saying and having this further divide. I don't believe that shit. I don't want to spread that information. And I'm gonna tell you right now, whoever those people are, they are not with us, and they probably never been with us. Because if they were, they would know. They're brown, they're Puerto Riqueño, Dominicano, wherever they're from. If they are that brown, they are black. They have African roots. We are rooted in Africa, okay? We were taken involuntarily. We were enslaved, forced to be here. Recognize that is a collective oppressor. We all have been colonized. We are all attempting to get free. It's really interesting that this particular divide is coming at a time when it's also surprisingly happening out in Europe. I mean, I understand. You're mad. I get it. You're mad. You've probably been racially profiled by certain communities who are non-white, and you feel this is probably your moment to shine. But I'm gonna tell you, this is not your moment to be prejudiced. This is not your moment to practice counter-revolutionary politics. You must study and be smarter than that. We must study and be smarter than that. Okay, so the white people now keep coming out. Keep coming out if you can put your bodies in between. We have white allies who have been trained and are training, who are organizing marches and rallies on their own with their communities, helping other people, assisting, standing in solidarity side by side, putting their bodies, direct action on the line, okay? And it is really, 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 really critical that these people, all people, know their role in our movement. Shit, if we can get white women dressed up in red dresses, 100 of them lined up in front of every march and major rally that we have, and let the world see, if there is any brutality that occurs during that time, what it looks like. We need to send that message so everyone is a part of this revolutionary community right now. If you think you're not, you are. Just wait till a matter of time before you are called and before it happens to you. We don't want to wait for that. So what we're saying is, you black, you brown. If you brown, you black. If you are living in this context of the United States of America or Europe or wherever the hell you are, you don't have institutional power. So we all need to be on the same page and aligned. Now, I'm not talking about peace, love, human, all that other shit. I'm talking just real common sense here. It's just common sense. Power in numbers. Organize yourself. Ride. If you got beef with somebody or a certain community, you talk to them, pull them on the side, talk to them. Don't allow the government, the state to further divide us. We don't need that. We never needed that. Like I mentioned, we were out in Mumbai, India. We were in Bolivia. We were wherever we were able to be invited, standing in solidarity with our people throughout the world, while still speaking and highlighting what is happening. We need to learn. There's a saying we have here. You can walk and also chew gum at the same time. We can do that. That is not difficult. We know how to do a few things at once. We know how to dismantle the oppression that we have, decolonize, attack police brutality, assassinations, terrorism, as well as discuss our LGBTQ comrades and our community, queer issues, homeless, environmental injustice. Everything is all part and product of patriarchy, capitalism, imperialism. When you read and study and see that, there isn't room to divide. We don't have time, and we can't afford the time for you to learn how to pay attention. So do your homework, pay attention, study up. I apologize for this lengthy rant. For our comrades out, we are with you. And again, wherever you are, it is George Floyd, it is Breonna Taylor, it's Trayvon Martin, it's Amadou Diallo, the list goes on and on and on. It's Adil, it's Mehdi, it's Lamine, it's Malda, it's it's Yori Jaro out in Germany. This is a pandemic we've been suffering. It is all of us. And if you don't believe that it isn't, either you don't want to win, you don't want to struggle, or you just don't want to learn. Peace and unconditional, revolutionary, matriarchal, maroons, love, maroons, all of us, power.